just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
I'm freaking out, man.
You are freaking out, man.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah!
What's up and welcome into Right Combo. This is episode 8, brought to you by Mom Mitchell's Meatloaf, made to order since 1988. I'm Trav. I am on the ones and twos spinning tracks tonight, hosting and west coasting, if you will. And it's the brothers Mitchell tonight, boys. Speaking of Mom Mitchell's Meatloaf, we got a small crew this evening. Keeg's out at work. Kyle had some stuff going on that he had to tend to, so we are just rolling with a 3-banger tonight, boys. It's going to be a fun time. All 3 of Val's kids are on the screen as we speak. I am I am an honorary son for anybody who doesn't know, or I like to think I am, and Mom's has adopted me as that, so I'm going with it. I love it.
I'm actually adopted or not.
Yeah, who's the adopted one, right? Yeah, man, we're pretty much brothers, so I'm part of the family. It's all all in the family, right, boys? So with that, we've got Ernest Mitchell. How you doing this evening, Bromo Sapien? Short day of work for you today, huh, bud?
Yes, it was a nice, beautiful day. I was off work at 9:30, so I just worked on some wedding projects out in the sun and barbecued some ribs. It was beautiful.
Oh, dude, you sent us a picture of those ribs, and those looked absolutely fantastic out on the barbecue. Nice work, nice work. Really holding up that mantle as the king of the grill, Ernest. I will.
I think
give you that.
3 out of the 4 nights this week I've barbecued.
Nice, man.
You got it.
Nice. I really want to get a barbecue, and I got to clean my barbecue though, and I just haven't made the time to give it that spring clean.
Ooh, the inaugural.
Oh yeah, and you know how they get, right? You know how they get over winter. Like I don't want to have any fires or anything happening, so I got to make sure to clean it out before
little science project growing in there.
yeah, like blue and green flames happening and stuff like that. Seems healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Brynoceros special delivery. How are you today, my man? What was the day like for the mailman today?
Doing pretty good, boys. No complaints today. Frockin' awesome day today working, doing my favorite route, which delivers down to our place on Pandora. So that's always interesting being down there. It was in full force today. Boys, it was pretty nasty out there. Yesterday was a rough one. Saw some needles going into some necks and things like that. Pretty rough down there. But that's the only nasty part of that route. And the rest,
guns out.
Yeah, guns out, man. Yeah, it was just jammed down there. But no, I started at 10. I was done by all wrapped up by 2:30, and paid for 8 hours. So good day today, and. Just rolled on over to Mom's after here, and I did not barbecue tonight because Mom offered to make dinner, so I enjoyed that thoroughly, and here we are.
Was it meatloaf?
Unfortunately not. I wish it was. I could go for meatloaf. No, she whips up this dish that she calls crack slaw, which is essentially like sort of like a spicy Thai ground pork, cabbage, and other veggies. It's got like peanuts and sriracha, and it's fucking delicious, man. Yeah, it's like a really good dish.
That's like such a Val meal too.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Totally something she would whip up, and I bet you it's deadly.
It's hands down one of the best things like I've ever tasted. It's delicious.
So good.
Eric can attest to that. He's had it several times. It's very good.
Although I find myself hungry about 45 minutes after eating a huge plate of it.
Yeah, cabbage doesn't have too much gumption to it. So
no, yeah, totally. But like, I love me a good slaw, and honestly, one thing I've learned over the years: if Mom Mitchell invites you over for dinner, you just don't say no. You're eating that, and it's gonna be good. So, shout out to Mom Mitchell. Shout out to Mom Mitchell for the delicious meals that she's cooked over the years. Okay, boys. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to anybody who's listening, anybody who's listened to our previous episodes. Love you all. Really appreciate the support. Love the engagement on the social media as well. I've been putting out some good stuff on the Instagram, a little bit on the TikTok as well, boys. So we're getting there. We're getting into the new age, fellas. And just want to, say thanks to everybody who subscribed on the YouTube as well. That's the meat and potatoes of our content is the YouTube channel. So go check it out. And we're actually now available on a lot more audio platforms. We were before just on Spotify, but now we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts, we're on iHeartRadio, and we are on Stitcher. So that definitely expands the game for any of our listeners. And you can go check it out. There'll be a link in the description. We've got this little start page thing that has all the links to our content. And so I'll put that in the description, and that's in the bio of all of our social media as well. So love that if you go check it out, comment on our shit, chat us up. Let's see it. And keep riding with us because it's been fun so far. Okay, boys, we got a fun show tonight. We're going to talk about some conspiracy theories. We're going to talk about some pet peeves, and then we've got some other little things on the docket. But first, I want to do a little unveiling. So for anybody who does follow our Instagram, you would have seen on there today and on the TikTok. And I think I put it on the other ones too, but there's just so many, so I can't even remember. We dove into looking at some merch solely for the purpose of us to rock, just because we got the pod, wanted to rock a little bit of merch. It was actually Keeg's idea, so shout out to Keeg's. So I looked into a little bit. I had a friend who was kind of in that game, and he gave me a supplier that I should check out. And I got our first sample order today, boys. And
nice.
Fucking awesome. Like, these things look super crisp. There was a couple things I was interested in. I'm definitely going to show them on the screen here for anybody who wants to have a look. But a couple things I was interested in. The website said that it couldn't match our green specifically. I think they did a bang up job on this one because the one on the website looked a little bit darker, a little bit more army green than what this actually is. And it's fantastic. The stitching came out really good. The one thing I've found is like, you'll always find little imperfections if it's embroidered here and there. But for the most part, with the how slender the letters are and stuff, it's a really crispy job. And so I'm gonna toss them on the screen here. So the first one here is an all black Richardson trucker hat, Keeg's preference trucker hat. And so he got the all black. Check that out. Pretty fucking clean, boys, right?
That's nice.
Looking good, man. I like it.
Clean. Brian, you also got a trucker hat. It's a little different color combo. I wanted to, as it's a sample order, I wanted to make sure this one came out good before I kind of went for it. It's the gray front panel on the trucker hat. Talk about send it. We're lighting off fucking incendiaries with these boys. They're
I like that one.
Awesome, man. Yeah, the white looks really sharp on that gray. Sorry to any audio listeners, like this means fucking nothing to you, so I apologize. But please go check out the YouTube channel or the social media, and you'll be able to see these. And then Carl Johnson with his cute little noggin likes a flex fit. And so I got him a flex fit, also in the black and white, but it came out real sharp on the flex fit. Ernest, I know that you wear a flex fit as well. I would definitely size one up if I was putting it on your dome piece, but
XL barely fits.
Big brains, right? Big brains. So that's the lineup. Like I said, it's on the social media if you want to check them out. These aren't for like sale as of yet. It's a bit of work to put together a little shop and stuff. So I want us to get our audience expanded a little bit, get a little bit more of a following behind us before I do put up a shop. Eric, there's only 3 here. So it's actually Brian's the only one on the pod right now who gets one of these. You and I have an order that should show up tomorrow. You're the only one getting a t-shirt, and I'm fired up to see how those come out. And then I got a snapback that's kind of in the mold of this here. So we're going to see how all those work out, and then we can just start going from there for getting some merch. So it's fun, boys. Any friends and family want to check it out, feel free to let us know, and we can work on like maybe a one-off order or something like that. But yeah, it's not something we can do public just yet. But if there is interest from people who follow us and listen to us, fire some comments in there, because the more people that say they're interested, the more inclined I'll be to get that fired up. So yeah, just thanks again for anybody who dives in there. And we had some comments on the hats today on the social media, boys, and people seemed to think they were pretty sharp looking. So nice. I think the same. And yeah. Okay, fellas. So I said we were going to get into some conspiracy theories here, and I've got 4 big ones on the ledger. Conspiracy theories are interesting, and since we've had like COVID come in and all those things, like the conspiracy theories are running rampant. These ones are a little bit more aged. Like I didn't really want to talk COVID because I'll be honest, boys, I'm almost sick of saying that word and I don't really want to talk about it anymore. And so I'm kind of done with talking about those conspiracy theories. But the first one I want to broach with you guys, and I don't think like I'm not sitting here thinking that you guys believe in this or anything like that. I just want to get your thoughts about it and we'll kind of talk about it and like, you know. So the first one is flat earth, fellas. You ever actually met a flat earther in real life?
No.
I don't think so. No, no one's ever explained to me. I've read on that theory, but I've never met someone that actually like went off a ledge and went on about that. So no.
Yeah, I feel we live in a pretty good area of,
we're isolated.
Smarts per capita.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're not like dirty South United States where where some thoughts may be way different, down in that hemisphere.
Yeah. Careful how far past the Mississippi you go. You might just drive off this motherfucker. like legit. That's what I think of it. Like that's all I can. And it's not like I actually like know some people from the southern states, and they're absolutely not like that. And like so, I don't want it to come across like that. But it just feels like it's very like. Yeah, you got to be pretty out there to believe in flat earth because like people have been up in space and seen the earth from above and there's photo evidence,
Too much time on the internet, man.
Well, it's funny, like they won't believe the photos from space that show that it's not flat, but these are probably people that believe the most ridiculous shit that they see on the internet and just run wild with it. Case in point, the earth is flat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, from the International Space Station, there is so much spherical evidence of this Earth. Like, there's just no chance. So anyone who thinks otherwise, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm pretty thankful that we have that smarts per capita, Eric, because I don't know if I can sit here and entertain someone actually trying to explain to me how the Earth is flat because I'm just
taking it, man.
They immediately just shut it out.
I just go to sleep. Just no thanks.
You can keep talking. I'll just be over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Tuning out now. Bye.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
Just wait longer. Ace Ventura. My bad.
Okay, so the next one, and like I don't buy this, but I think it's probably more buyable than the previous one, is the whole Area 51 thing. So I'm going to read a little like excerpt here, boys. The famous Area 51 in the Nevada desert is a military installation at the Nellis Military Operations Area. But the base quickly became known as the most secretive military site in the world because it does not exist on any map or government website, leading many to craft conspiracy theories. Some believe Area 51 is researching and experimenting on aliens and their spacecraft. More specifically, people think they're studying a crash that happened near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947. Others theorize that the moon landing was staged at Area 51. And we'll get to that one, fellas. The government has said the facility is used to test experimental aircraft for the military. What say you guys? Do you think there's some weird shit happening there, or do you think it's just like experimental aircraft in the military?
Yeah, I think I definitely think there's other things going on there. I don't. My own personal belief is that it hasn't gone as far as extraterrestrial. Like I don't believe that there's been aliens in there. I've also read that the CIA can confirm that there's been no alien sightings in Area 51 or anything of that. So, but yeah, I definitely think there's some shady stuff going on there that not everyone is supposed to know. Just not quite as far as extraterrestrials.
Ernest, how about you?
I would agree with Brian pretty good on that. I can't say that there's no aliens out there, so
no,
that's just silly to say that there's no aliens if the universe is infinite.
Yeah, I'm definitely not saying that. I mean, just
the chances maybe one has hit the Earth. I don't know. There's a chance, but like, yeah.
Trav,
so hiding it. I don't know.
You're going full extraterrestrial here, Eric. I don't know. I don't think kind of a hybrid, right? Yeah, phone home, Eric. So like I don't think alien life has touched down on Earth. I'll say that. Like I don't think there's aliens there because if it's saying that they're researching and experimenting on aliens, I can't see aliens landing on our planet and us being able to capture them and experiment on them. You know what I mean? If they have the technology to get to our planet, they're coming here and they're fucking all of our days up. You know what I mean? Or at least those people's days up. Maybe the aliens took it over and that's their little secret home base. Maybe it's their technology that keeps it off radars and shit like that. But I don't know. I don't think it's I don't actually think it's that. And I think the aliens would have taken us over if anything. But I do think it's probably the US government doing some pretty weird shit to try and see what kind of stuff they can do and make sure that nobody catches them. So that's an absolute possibility. But yeah, I have a hard time believing that there is anything actually alien related there. Night, guys. Love you.
I'm with you on that, Trav. Like I was not saying that I don't believe in aliens at all. I just don't think that they've been in Area 51. I certainly believe that like some of those stories, and I've watched documentaries of people who have seen a UFO in their backyard or whatever. Like I don't discount all that. I just don't think that we have captured them and studied them or been able to hold on to one in our lifetime anyways that we know about.
Yeah. It's pretty far-fetched.
Yeah, and I think like when I say that no alien has touched down on Earth, no alien that humans have determined is an alien, like if they're like blended in amongst us, then fucking well played, right?
Oh, I think some human beings that look like aliens for sure. Like
yeah, there are definitely some of those. And sometimes you got to do a double take just to question it. But most of my conclusions have been not an alien after that double take for sure. But yeah, no, I wasn't taking that you were saying there's no aliens or whatever, because I think there is definitely other life forms out there somewhere. I just don't think we're going to come across them in my lifetime, so I'm not too shook about it. Right on, boys. So the next one is kind of near and dear to our geographical area. Funny enough, though, the info that I pulled is off an American site, and I planned on getting the stats for British Columbia on this, but I wasn't able to do that just yet. But Sasquatch, boys, they call it Bigfoot down south, but I am in Camp Sasquatch 100% because that's what it's called.
I'm interested to hear what you guys think on this one.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. And I'm going to try and look up those BC stats while some of you guys are talking, because BC is absolutely Sam Squam's country.
Oh, man, that's another thing. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, there's just so much wilderness out there.
Me neither, man.
I can't just say no.
No, let me read this to you. Okay. So then remember, this is an American site. So although there are Bigfoot Sasquatch sightings all over the US, Washington state has the highest number. There have been 2,032 sightings in the state, according to Newsweek. There are a number of theories around the mythical creature. Some believe it's a ferocious beast meant to be feared, and others think it's a harmless creature that wants to be left alone. There are other theories that Bigfoot is related to humans since it walks on two legs, while others think it's an extraterrestrial being. The original 1958 footprints were a prank by a man named Ray Wallace near Buff Creek in Northern California. His children revealed it was all a joke after his death in 2002. So that's kind of funny. But what do you guys think? So, Eric, you gave us a little bit of your thoughts before there. Brian, what's your thoughts on Sasquatch?
Yeah, I'm a believer. Big believer in that. So much forest out there on this planet. However, that being said, I believe that if he exists, that he lives in northern BC or in Alaska somewhere. I think he's pretty close to us. I don't.
You think there's only one?
There can't just be one.
Yeah, he's somewhere near us. Like Northern California is not too far from us either. He's going to be somewhere within that range.
So he's just walking from Northern California up to Alaska?
He doesn't need to walk, man. He just is where he is. He lives where he is.
So you like teleports or some shit?
Something like that.
He is an extraterrestrial.
No, he's roaming around there, man. Yeah, he's upright like a human, and he's friendly. He's not aggressive towards humans, I don't think. He's just minding his own biz. Does not want to be found. He's chilling.
If he was aggressive, there would have been more like concrete sightings, I think. I think there's more than one. I think it's the species of
It'd have to be.
creature.
Yeah.
But that brings into question though, like if it's so much like a human, are there no females to reproduce with? Because if they reproduce, you would think that it would have come to light more now, you know what I mean? So that's kind of seems like a bit of a flaw to me, is like, are they only dudes or something like that? Was just some catastrophic event that wiped most of them off the planet? You know what I mean? Because like if there's chicks, you know that Bigfoot's going to be out there smashing boys. Like if there's female Bigfoot's can be slanging that dick, right? So I think there would definitely have been baby Bigfoots by now. So that's my only reason why I'm not 100% sure. But I do think there is Sasquatch out there.
Yeah.
But I have so many questions, so I would love to just sit down over a coffee with them and ask them some of those questions,
Yeah. Where have you been this whole time?
Or what if they're all females? What if it's not even, there's no males they just can't reproduce because they're all females?
Or there's just one and he's immortal and he's just
yeah, the emphasis on the sass on Sasquatch on that one. If it's all females, hey boys. Wifey's gonna give me trouble for that one.
Absolutely.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I think it's out there, and it's definitely they are definitely in BC. I'm actually gonna there's a website called SasquatchCanada.com. I'm gonna check out Sasquatch sightings in BC. British Columbia has a long and unique history with the Sasquatch, and the accounts of its explorers and settlers interacting with the creature go back nearly 200 years. One of the earliest recorded incidents took place in 1864. A fur trader by the name of Alexander Anderson reported that he and his party had been attacked by hairy humanoids. These hairy humanoids assaulted his party with a barrage of heavy rocks. That sounds like Sasquatch.
Yep.
Yeah. And what's funny is that American story said 1958 is when that prank started all of it. This is actually in Canada in 1864. Further proof that Sasquatch mainly resides in British Columbia. There's a whole bunch of like testimonials from people. Definitely not going down that rabbit hole now, boys, but it's kind of interesting to hear about. And like it's funny when you read people's actual accounts of it too, because like they make it seem like it's pretty legit. Some of them, they don't seem like nutcases like the flat earthers. So
have you guys seen the movie Harry and the Hendersons before?
No.
Eric, have you seen that?
No.
Oh man, yeah, it's like who's in it? Is it it might be Chevy Chase, I think. Yeah, and he goes on holiday with this Bigfoot character. Anyways, it's kind of what I think he would look like. It's a really funny movie, actually. Actually, no, it's not Chevy Chase. It's John Lithgow. That's who it is. He's the main character.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what Sam Scram should look like. I'm actually gonna put it up, boys.
Yeah, John Lithgow, and it's a funny movie. I think it came out early '80s or something like that. But I think they do a pretty good job in that movie of representing what a Sasquatch or Bigfoot may look like, for sure.
I got you. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Window.
Can you flash it up on the screen, Trav?
Yeah, check it out. There he is.
There he is. Okay.
That's the one.
Sasquatch. Look at him. That's exactly what I think Sasquatch looks like. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, well played.
I mean, we've all seen humans that look pretty close to that. Just watching. I've seen one on Pandora earlier.
Let's see what this one. Oh, look at that picture-in-picture action for us, boys. I haven't really played with this screen share and shit too much, but yeah, that is definitely what Sasquatch looks like, and resides in Canada for sure.
You got to close some tabs there, brother.
What's that? Oh, dude, I had so much shit going on earlier. I can't even tell you. I've actually did one cut of a bunch of tabs that I didn't need open. And that's only on that screen. I got this screen that's in front of me here too. Okay, the last conspiracy theory I've got, boys, is that the moon landing was fake. The flag moving in the wind, no stars in the sky whatsoever, the misaligned shadows, these have all been points made in the conspiracy theory that Neil Armstrong didn't take the first leap for mankind on the moon in 1969. For years, conspiracists have argued that NASA staged the landing and that the secret has been protected by the CIA ever since.
I've got an interesting thought on this.
Okay.
I was thinking, back then, whatever year it was, how in the hell would film last coming through the atmosphere and all like the gamma radiation, right? So maybe they did actually do it. The film got ruined, and then they wanted to restage it.
I was thinking that too. Like if something fucked up, yeah. I could totally see that, boys. I'm actually trying to look up the picture right now because, like, I don't think they would have staged that. You know what I mean? Like people watch.
That would be my only. It's either they did it or that's why they did it.
Yeah, and like
if it was
other
staged,
people were
that's why they staged it.
Was he the only person on the mission, or was he just the first person to land? You know what I mean?
No,
I believe he was just the first person to step foot on it.
Yeah.
There was other people.
Yeah,
I
so I mean,
I 100% believe that they landed on the moon.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
It's super interesting though, because when you see that they poke the holes in the moon landing photo, like it's actually like kind of questionable. There are not stars in the back, but I would kind of chalk that up to shitty cameras. You know what I mean? Like they're not the camera's not gonna be able to see as far away as those stars are, right? So I think like if you even take your phone camera out at night and you take a picture just with your camera as normal, like oftentimes you can't really see them unless you do some settings or something. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they definitely landed on the moon. And yeah, I was going to pull the picture up, but I'm not actually going to do it now, boys, because it's not actually. Let's do it. Oh, no, because there's 1,700 pictures that aren't even the right one. Like, come on.
Here's a moon.
Searching when I put moon landing photo. Come on. All right, boys. Yeah, so we all think that they landed on the moon. Beautiful.
Never mind.
What are you sniggering at?
I was giving you guys the moon.
Oh, the moon.
Nice.
That was beautiful, actually. Wow. It hit my eye like a big pizza pie, Eric. That's amore. All right, boys. So those are the conspiracy theories. Nothing too crazy there, but it's nice to know that we're all sane human beings and we don't believe in that crazy shit. Any conspiracy theories that you guys have in your brain that you think are just wild and ridiculous, or what?
I mean, not so much. I like watching documentaries on some of the conspiracy theories. I'm watching one right now on that Malaysian flight back in the early 2000s that just went missing, like straight off the radar. And it was like 236 people died on that flight. And I'm not sure I don't remember what the outcome of it is, what happens with whatever information they didn't get, but I'm not at that part in the documentary yet. It's a 3-part thing and I'm only on part 2, but looking forward to seeing the ending of that, because it sure is fucking interesting how it just went disappearing, flying out of Malaysia, like completely just dead in the air, which like never happens.
And so were the people dead, or were they just never found?
Everyone's dead. There's been no evidence of the plane ever found, or no evidence of bodies ever found. There's just 236 people absolutely vanished off the face of the earth on that Malaysian flight. I think it's like 2014 or something like that. I could be wrong on that, but
wild. Like that's some Bermuda Triangle shit, right?
Yeah. It's fucking weird. Like one of the theories on that one is that the plane was hijacked, or potentially the pilot just went batshit crazy and decided a 236 person suicide mission, and had the wherewithal to shut off all the navigation stuff on it, and so it wouldn't relay it back to any flight center, and just go fucking kamikaze with the thing and crash it out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. And maybe it did completely disappear, but then people say there's no way that there would be zero evidence whatsoever. Like some piece of that plane would be found somewhere and would discredit a theory or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'll get back to a volcano.
Yeah, who knows, man?
That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good way, yeah.
You're just on the side of the earth.
And I mean, if you're on a fucking suicide mission, what is more like what is more 100% than flying into an active volcano? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Bigfoot ate them all up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're part of the lava now.
Yeah. So
those people are now liquid hot magma.
magma.
Not a great thing to be joking about, actually, fellas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're gonna look at some common pet peeves, fellas. I've got some little groupings here that I want to kind of throw out there and see if they bother you guys. What degree they bother you guys. And yeah, talk a little bit about maybe some pet peeves that you guys have. So what is a pet peeve? I want to start with. Dictionary.com defines a pet peeve as a particular and often continual annoyance, a personal bugbear. This train service is one of my pet peeves, is used in a sentence. So that is what a pet peeve is. And fun fact, fellas, back in the day when I was living with homeschool and Liam, we had a cat that was named Peeve, and he was our pet peeve. Yeah, and that's 100% homeschool thought of that name, and it was absolutely golden. And also shout out to homeschool for our intro beat. I don't think I've given him any love for that previously, but yeah, I want to send him some big love for sending me over some of his beats. And lo and behold, I used one for the intro for this song. Also used one for the intro of my my former fantasy football show. So yeah, homeschool's providing them fire beats, dog. So some pet peeves, fellas. The first grouping that I got for you is loud gum chewing and loud slurping of drinks. Eric, on a scale of 1 to 10, how does loud like mouth noises rank for you?
We'll just put eating, like chewing with your mouth open, in that as well.
Yeah, totally.
Hate it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's awful.
10 out of 10.
It's awful.
Yeah,
and you want to tell the person, like, it's hard not to tell the person to stop. And it's like, this is a grown adult, you know what I mean? What do you think, Bri?
Yeah, I'm with you boys on that. I'm sure the three of us grew up eating with our mouth closed. Otherwise, there was going to be somebody going to get hurt real bad. So there's going to be some sort of consequence to pay. Yeah, definitely. If your brain isn't telling you to consciously chew with your mouth shut, something's fucking wrong with you. No one else wants to hear you chewing. And
or at least like cover, like, or you know, like something.
If you're chewing on a fucking dog toy and you need to cover your mouth or something, then yeah, you don't want to see that shit. No, keep your mouth shut. Pretty plain and simple.
Yeah, you'd get your ass whipped if you did that around the table at my house, boys. That's for sure. Like, you would not have a good dinner time if you were doing that.
Yeah,
you learn real quick how to close your mouth while you're chewing. Let's just say that Mama Michelle didn't fuck around. So
my lady hates it. Even if mouth is shut, if she can even hear chewing noises, that grinds her gears. So if it's just me eating something solo, I'll usually just hammer it back in the kitchen, and I won't be near her when I'm doing it. It's pretty sensitive to it. It's funny. Yeah. I think it's funny, but yeah.
No, yeah,
she must have a tough time around the dinner table upstairs.
Maybe, I don't know.
With Pa Dukes around.
Okay, boys. Budging in line is definitely a big one, and people hogging the sidewalk or the aisle in a store. Of those two, how about this, Bri? Of those two, which one is a bigger pet peeve for you?
Probably I would have to say budging in line, because I feel like if you're in line up for something, it's probably something you're in a hurry for anyways. You know, you're not just casually standing in a line. Oh, I could do this all day. You know, you want to get the fuck out of there. So if someone is budging in front of you whilst you're in that state of mind, then that's pretty irritating and quite rude, to be frank. I don't like that.
See, I would differ on this one, because my experience with budging is that we're now grown adults and most people aren't budging in line. Or if somebody does cut in line, they usually didn't do it on purpose. So if you just say, hey, man, the back of the line's over there, or they're pretty good about it. You know what I mean? But people hogging the sidewalk or the aisle happens way more often to me than people budging in line. So I'd say that's my bigger pet peeve. Especially because, to your point, Brian, I am a very get in and get out person. Like, I don't want to fuck around. I don't want to sit there flitting through a bunch of fucking tops and stuff. Like, let's
No,
get
no,
what we
no.
gotta get
No.
and get the fuck out of there. And
Yeah.
if I'm stuck behind a family of 17 and they're taking up the entire aisle and they're oblivious to other people in the store,
Or like,
Yeah.
or like in the mall, people walking like 8 people abroad.
there's
and,
no
like, on
hallway
their
bigger than the
phones.
mall.
Yeah.
There's no hallway bigger than the mall. If you're clogging that up, and I think the worst part for me is not that you're doing it, because I understand if you're in a big group, sometimes you get spread out a little bit. Being oblivious to other people that are in whatever place that you're in, like so oblivious to the fact that you're not allowing other people by, that it takes a few seconds or takes them to say, excuse me, is absolutely unacceptable as a human being to me. This is a 12 out of 10 for me, boys. That one.
Be aware of your surroundings.
It gets me cheesed, man. It gets me super cheesed, because I don't care if you got all the time in the fucking world. I got 4 kids and shit to do, and I don't want to be stuck behind your ass while you're digging through what kind of fucking whatever you want to get. So, so that kind of got me fired up just talking about it, boys. Sorry. I am not in the aisle of a store right now. Like, I'm not even close to that situation. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. How about talking on the phone loudly in public? Not huge for me. Eric, I didn't even go to you on that last one, by the way. What do you think?
I had my 2 cents there about them all.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say I agree with you, Travis.
Okay, beautiful.
Budging's not really a big thing, and like around here, it's usually like a mistake. I agree with you 100%.
But with you on the fact that if somebody knowingly does it and they think they're going to get away with it, Brian, that does fucking piss me off.
That's what I was referring to, for sure.
That would piss me off more, but it's never really happened.
Doesn't happen as much. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I would be escalated to a 17 like right quick.
Yeah, nobody wants to reach 17. Nobody wants that. Nobody. I'll be getting dragged out of there by a fucking Walmart employee. Like, honestly, they call them the 5-0. Talking on the phone loudly in public, Brian. Yeah, like I said, not a huge bother for me. Like, it's totally obnoxious, and I totally get it. But like, I can kind of distance myself from it to the point where I'm like, I just see it and I say, "You're an obnoxious douche," and then I walk away. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't call it at the level of being a pet peeve, like maybe an annoyance, but not a pet peeve, you know?
Kid, don't do it at restaurants or coffee shops, or you know.
That's
I went
do
to
it at
sushi
coffee
one
shops
time.
too much.
I went for sushi, and it's like a nice, quiet like experience. And Buddy's on his phone; he's by himself, just blabbing business, blah blah blah. I made 5 mil or whatever, and so it's like, oh, whatever, man. You're just like, are you even talking to anybody? Like, you know?
No, yeah, he must like one of the waitresses or something.
Yeah.
He's talking about his stock portfolio, so all the waitresses can hear him. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically what he was talking about. Yeah, his helicopter business.
Yeah, you should see my crypto wallet, bro. You should see my crypto wallet. Silverware scratching on a plate or chalk on a chalkboard, boys?
Neither of those bother me.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Yeah, the sound bothers me, but it doesn't get me. Like, I just kind of shudder and then I'm over it. But it's not something that's on the
knife sharpening is on that list for me, and I have to leave the room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lauren has to sharpen the knives. I can't do it.
Really? I don't find
I
find that less awful for me than the chalkboard and the scraping the cutlery. Definitely find knife. I think it's kind of satisfying to me.
Oh, no.
Oh, when you get a nice
very sensitive.
I like it.
No.
Interesting. Yeah. It's like a satisfying thing for me. It's like,
well, maybe I'll try and it's an acquired taste, I guess.
like tomatoes, like tomatoes.
Not worth it. Not worth the effort.
What about lights left on and cupboards left open?
Air?
I don't know. I'll leave on a couple lights here and there just for tactical purposes. But like the big bright lights, like our pot lights, there's like 14 of them on. Like, you don't need all those on all the time. I try and turn them off. Cupboards, close them right away. Don't be leaving cupboards open.
I'm fucking guilty of both of these ones, boys.
Yeah.
I am the king of leaving cupboards open. If I'm like in the kitchen and I got 17 things going on and I'm like grabbing dishes or something and I got something burning on the stove and I got something in the oven beeping at me and shit like that, like I definitely, there's times where I'll look over in the kitchen, Sabrina's closing like 5 cupboards.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm getting better with the lights on, but we're still a work in progress over here, boys.
I luckily do have most of my stuff hooked up to Google, so it's not very hard to just keep track of all that stuff and turn it off with my voice. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I
That's
got some
handy.
Google lights too, but
Yeah.
no, the whole house is not faded out as of yet, but that'll be nice when that happens.
Yeah, it's sort of situational for me. Like if I'm paying for that hydro, or if I'm someone's place that that is a friend of mine or that I know, then I'm definitely going to be trying my best to shut lights off or whatever. But take it to if we're in a hotel or something, I could care less.
Yeah.
AC and the heat on.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything's on. Yeah,
I'll leave my
TVs
shit in the
stereos
toilet at a
on,
hotel.
Everything's going.
Yeah, I won't even flush the toilet. Yeah.
No, fuck no.
You're savage. You're savage.
or just leave a double decker in that bitch. What about not replacing the toilet paper? Doesn't bother me.
Do not do this, folks.
Really?
Replace the toilet paper every time.
You must have
sometimes
PTSD.
I don't.
You better put it on the right day.
People don't. So.
Yeah, well, that's the next question, Eric. I'm thinking, judging by the sounds of this, you must have PTSD from when we were roommates here, because like,
and I've been
the shit that I do is like no-nos for you.
I have had to be crafty too many times in my life. I don't want to explain on camera here. Just make sure there's toilet paper ready for the next person.
So you're saying you've wiped your ass with the empty bag where the toilet paper used to be? Is that
the cardboard or a sock, whatever, man.
Or boys, if there's just one square left, there's one square.
Yeah,
you put the square on your finger like this, and then you wipe with your finger, and then you use that square to wipe your finger off.
Yeah, I've had to use a sock and a porta john before.
Trav's losing his mind.
That is fucked up. You guys, Jesus Christ, wiping your ass with cardboard, Eric?
Dude, it's either that or don't wipe your ass at work, man. If you're in a porta john, it's
I can't. Okay, yeah, I can see that. That's like, can't you text one of the boys to bring you some leaves or something like that?
Oh, that's just embarrassing. Yeah. I guess.
What's more embarrassing, fucking wiping your ass with cardboard or your bare hand?
I
one of the boys to bring you something to wipe your ass.
You know what? It was hot in there. I just sacrificed a sock. It was near the end of the day. It was a leap year, whatever.
Wow, so you're saying you're okay with no socks and shoes? Is what you're saying? You're okay with that?
No, I'm not. It was uncomfortable.
Me neither.
There's that in the shitty ass though.
See, most of my experience is at my house, and so like both of my bathrooms I can reach the cupboard from the shitter and grab the toilet paper from under, or if I wasn't able to reach it and it's like on the far end of the cupboard, my ass isn't dirty enough to where I can't just like penguin over there to grab it and then get back, you know what I mean?
Hairy for that.
Yeah, porta potty's a total different story, but I would probably be texting people to bring me something before I'm using, especially that's like dirty porta potty cardboard, man. You don't know what's touched that.
No, I would use my sock because the porta potty ones, the cardboard's like friggin' 1/4 inch thick. It's not good.
You're just ringing your doorbell just like Brian's method anyway. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, so when you put the toilet paper on, boys, are you guys a roll over the front or a roll down the back?
I like down the back.
Decision.
Front.
Yeah, but I like the back.
It's front.
Just to be different.
Wow. Sabrina puts hers down the back, and we battle over that one constantly. Like I'll go in after I've replaced the roll, and I'll go in there like a couple hours later, and I see that she's like changed it, and so I'll change it back. We do that.
I think I subconsciously do it just to piss people off, most likely.
Yeah, when I go upstairs, I change it all the time. For sure. Like if I have to have a sit down, I'll change it. Yeah.
Yeah, like. Okay, so what happens when your toilet paper is on one of those stand things that has like the cylinder to put more toilet paper, and you have it down the back, you're pulling it down behind the thing and you're trying to fish it out of the back. Like, I'm just trying to wipe my ass here, man. And
True.
you know, like you just
Ours is like in kind of like a little alcove in the wall.
cove,
so
yeah.
if it goes around the back, I can get like 2 squares at a time, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
And it's just like
sure.
glides so easy off the top, off the front.
Yeah, fuck. That's like it's got ball bearings in that motherfucker. Yeah. It's fucking beautiful. Fresh coat of wizard piss on that shit when it's coming down over the front. Am I right, boys?
Right.
Okay, this one is pretty specific to me, but I don't know if it is to you guys. Terrible grammar and punctuation. I have been known around the friend group from time to time to be called the grammar Nazi.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, boys, I kind of wear that with pride.
Yeah, nice.
But what do you guys think? Grammar and punctuation.
I think
does one piss you off more than the other?
Yeah, then and than is a bad one. I can't stand that. Like when people are like, "Oh, more than that," or then he did this. You know, like
that is brutal.
I'm okay with them saying it like that because when I say than, it probably sounds more like then, right? But typing, absolutely not. Or like writing it out, absolutely not. But I think when I say like more than, yeah. But if I'm doing it in a fast sentence, like more than, you know what I mean? Like more than, you know what I mean? So it kind of comes out like that. But yeah, totally preaching to the choir, preaching to the fucking choir.
That is kind of an annoyance seeing that. And like the proper use of there, they are, there, you know, it being possessive, whatever. That can be a pretty annoying one too. I feel like those are pretty simple. Like they're not that hard. I don't know.
No. Adults should not get that wrong.
For us with English as our first language, I think we should have that down pat by now.
Yeah, that's a good point. For people who it's their second language, I get how that's fucked for sure. Yes, dude. I'm so like my wife is such a saint living with me because I cannot not correct her on some things sometimes, and I've tried so hard to work on it. And it pisses her off so much. And I totally get why it pisses her off. But yeah, like little sayings or something like that. If it's just like a little bit off, I'll just, something I'm trying to get better at. But yeah, grammar is a tough one for me and it sucks because it's bit me in the ass before where I've been adamant thinking I was right on something and somebody totally just fucking sits me down and I was been wrong on stuff. And I have a hard time being wrong. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Well, this one's awful. And if this doesn't bug you, then there's something wrong with you. One-uppers, boys.
Like people who one up you?
Yeah, you're just telling a story about something cool that happened. Oh yeah, but check out, my fucking, my $5 million in helicopter business or something. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, take a walk.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I've ended friendships over that. Like, I've ended friendships because people are like that. 100%.
Yeah,
I didn't tell them that. I just ghosted them, which is probably like more harsh, which is added effect. Because don't be a one-upper. Let people have their their day in the sun. If somebody's telling you a story that's happy about them, be happy for them. Don't just think about yourself. Selfish fucking bastards.
Yeah, no one's better than me, anyways. What's the next
one? Like people trying to drive their interests down your throat, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, with today's society, it's like health stuff, you know what I mean? Or, pyramid scheme stuff. People trying to force their own shit on you that you don't buy into. One that is very common that we're not, that flat earth. Yeah. One, like, I haven't met too many people, thankfully, in my time that have done this and I respect them for that. Like religion's a big one too, that people try to like make you believe or understand too. Like, and I'm not going to go down that topic because like, I'm not a religious person, but I kind of envy religious people for a lot of reasons. And that's just a total rabbit hole. But so what do you think about stuff like that? Like, hey, try this fucking super healthy green drink that smells disgusting or whatever. You know what I mean? What do you guys think about that? What's something that somebody tried to jam down your throat that way? And I'm definitely conscious of the fact that I'm using the term jam down your throat fairly
I've had a lot of things jammed down my throat in the days, boys. A lot of things. But I liked most of them, so that's fine.
So no, I think for it. Okay.
I think out of those, Trav, like I'm down to hear some people's opinions on health stuff in particular. Obviously, don't force it on me, but I'm down for you to kick me some knowledge about some health stuff. I'm interested in that. But when it comes to other stuff like I don't know, people's theories or like pyramid schemes, you said like that. As soon as I even hear a pyramid scheme or like something that seems off, I'm just like, no, I just tune out. Like I don't want. Unfortunately, another one of those things for me is like, I know you guys like some sci-fi shit and all that, movies and whatever. Like, I just can't, man. If I hear people talking about that, I just have zero fucking interest in it. So someone can tell me to watch Star Wars like a million times, and I'm just like not gonna watch it. Like,
have you watched Game of Thrones yet, bud?
Fuck no, man. No way.
He never will.
And I love you guys for it. I'm envious of the imagination you guys have, but I can't bring myself to do it. I need like realistic shit, stuff that's actually going on. That's what I like.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I still maintain that you would like Game of Thrones because there's not a lot of that fucking like mystical shit until a fair bit later into it.
You're doing it. You're doing it right now. You're doing it. I'm just kidding, man.
I just like it, and I like you, Brian. And two rights make a writer for me. Okay,
that I can agree with.
Okay, so the last two here, boys, on the pet peeves: shitty service and or people shitting on store employees, like openly getting mad at store employees right out in front of everybody. Which one's worse, Brian?
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of like employees shitting on their workers. I haven't seen too much of that. Maybe a little bit. That's
what about customers shitting on their workers. You know what I mean? Like a customer screaming at somebody behind the counter. Yeah,
that's just outrageous. There's no need for that. Things can be handled in a different matter for sure.
Grow up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've seen some things in restaurants. Like if that's kind of what you're pertaining to, then yeah, I've seen that, and it's unpleasant to be around. Kind of irks me. I don't. No one should go to that extent. I'm not a fan of that.
What about you, Ernst?
Well, I feel like, if you're in the service industry, you kind of know what to expect. You need to tread lightly and, but also as a customer, you got to respect that they are dealing with shitty people day in, day out. And just be nice, right? Things happen, whatever, if it's like strike 3, then I would be like, okay, like I want to talk to your manager. Like no need to make a scene, but like, no. Like usually if it's like something happens to me, I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, but it's cold. Like, can you fix this, please?
Yeah.
Like, things happen. No need for it.
If it's blatant bad service, that's a little different. Like if it's just like on purpose, blatant, like, a waitress is completely ignoring you, kind of thing, like that can be pretty irritating. But if it's like, like Eric said, like cold food or, oh, there's a fucking hair in my Caesar salad or something, like, okay, shit happens, like no reason to get irate about it.
Yeah. Bad service at restaurants. Like I'm not very confrontational, so I'll definitely just take like bad service at a restaurant on the chin. And usually it's not like that terrible where they're ignoring you and being like actually on the rude side. Like sometimes you get a little bit of it, but usually it's just like not being attentive enough. And I could be okay with that because
I just reflected in the tip.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But people getting angry at employees really bothers me because usually the ones who they're doing it to are the people who are not making very much money. So people who are behind customer service counters and shit like that. And I worked at McDonald's from when I was like 15 to when I was 19. So there's definitely some bias here because I've been that person. And like, think about it, people. These people are making like $12 an hour to serve your ass some fucking burgers. Yeah. And they're getting nothing else for it. So do you think they really give a fuck about the quality of service that they give you at those stores? Obviously that's wrong for sure. Totally. But when you start getting pissed off at them, you think they're going to start to give a fuck? Probably not.
That's dude, I like how you brought it McDonald's into this, because I will say that I do find myself getting pretty fucking furious if I'm in the drive-through. If I've gone through the drive-through and my order is wrong for like the second or the third time that week. I should probably stop eating at McDonald's. But like, and it's probably like as you drive away from the drive-through window and you're like looking in your bag, you're like, "Fuck, where's my third cheeseburger?" Like, I'm getting a little pissed off at this point, But that's probably because I'm in the comfort of my own vehicle and I can scream loud if I want to. If there's no one else around. So,
you're not being that $12 an hour employee though, right? Like you're not going to go in there and like ruin that person's day necessarily. But yeah, that pisses me off too. The one that pisses me off when you're in the drive-through and you're making what seems like a fairly simple order, but the person that's taking your order just can't fucking get it. It's like, I said junior chicken, not chocolate milkshake. Okay. Like it's not fucking hard here. So that's the one that gets me. But even then I'm not like super douchey. I'll put my dad voice on if I absolutely have to, but that's because I've already repeated it 3 times. You know what I mean? But yeah, a story from McDonald's B. Back in the day, I was probably about 17 or 18. I think I was just like a shift manager or something like that. And there was this girl who was the other manager on the shift, and we were both kind of running the shift together. This old fucking crusty dude that was probably like 350 pounds, dirt mustache, Jeffrey Dahmer sunglasses kind of shit. He was a fucking grease bag. He had to wait for fresh fries. And you know the Sandwich McDonald's, Eric, and you know how it's got like a fairly big lobby for customers to stand in. Packed. Absolutely packed, right? So there's a ton of people in there, a ton of people ordering food, drive-throughs packed. And this guy has to wait for fresh fries because obviously when it's busy like that, sometimes that happens. He fucking took his drink and threw it at this girl manager who was behind the counter. I was behind like making the food and she was kind of doing all the till people and stuff like that. As soon as he did that, man, I flew out of there. Didn't care what the customers thought. I was like, you get the fuck out of here, right? Just losing it on this guy. I hope you feel good about yourself, you piece of shit. Like losing it out into the parking lot. Got his license plate number, called the police because he threw it at her. She was fucking bawling her eyes out, and I'm like trying to take charge here, and got it all in the fryers and stuff. We had to like empty all the fryers because they had pop in them and stuff in the middle of it. It was fucked. But yeah, got his license plate number. We called the cops. He called back like 2 hours later with his tail between his legs, apologizing and saying that he's just been having a rough time. And I'm just like, yeah, man, that's fine. We all have rough times. You don't treat people like that. Goodbye. That was a very satisfying moment in my life, as you can tell by how vividly I remember it. It was very satisfying to like put somebody in their place like that and to not take the excuse. So that's where I sit on that. So just don't be a piece of shit to employees because they're trying to do their job, right? And if they're doing their job bad, go about it the right way instead of like publicly screaming at them. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks for coming.
Quickly on this one, boys. Quickly on tipping when you go out for dinner. Your guys' opinion of going out for dinner and tipping. What is it? Like for me personally, if you're my view is that if you're going to dine at somewhere that is maybe a little more than just casual or whatever, something maybe casual, fancy, or more on the fancy side, I believe you should not go to that establishment if you do not plan on at least tipping fairly good at that establishment. Like I would go at a nice place, minimum 20, I would say.
Yeah, I can see that at a nice place. Like it's for me, it's bill related, right? Like it depends on how much I'm spending, right? Like if I'm at Red Robin's, I'm probably like, 15%. I know that like 15% is the standard where back in the day it used to be 10%, I believe. And now like apparently the standard is 20%.
Some places for sure.
It like really depends. If I'm going under 10%, it's 0 because it was that bad. I'm never going to do 5%. It's 10% if it was passable service where like they didn't come back and check on us a couple times and stuff like that. 15% if it was average, 20% if they went above and beyond is kind of my loose rule there. So that would be kind of what I would say.
Yeah, good way to put that, man. I like that. Good numbers.
Yeah. Bang on.
I mean, 5% though is like insulting. If I'm the waiter or the waitress, like obviously,
that almost hurts more than 0.
Totally, right? That's what
dude. Yeah.
And if you talk to them, like they'd probably take the 5% because some is better than none. But like, fucking throw them a bone, man. Like,
Yeah.
those people
So,
likely
quick little
didn't
story.
spit.
So a couple weeks back, Haley and I went on we just went like on a dinner date with another couple of friends or whatever, another guy and a girl. Won't mention who they are. They don't watch this, so it's fine. It was an expensive meal. We went to what was it, Pagliacci's, I think it was. And like a huge bill, like in the hundreds. And Buddy just decided not to tip anything, just based on the principle that he doesn't believe in tipping. And I was like pretty mad, pretty furious about that. I had to call him out on it, and I was just like, man, I'll never go for dinner with you again. It was pretty bad. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You can't just not believe in tipping. It's a real
No.
I
No.
was
just like Santa Claus.
That's a douchebag excuse for being a
could not
cheapskate.
believe what I was seeing with my eyes when I almost went back and said, I'm so sorry for that. Like, yeah.
Unbelievable. I don't believe in tipping. Like, to me, that's just a shithead cop out for being a
He's a
cheapskate.
flat earther.
Seriously. Yeah.
Yeah, totally, dude. Yeah. We don't see them that often. It was just like a quick, hey, we're in Victoria, let's do dinner kind of thing. And I had never been to dinner with them before. And it was actually Il Terrazzo was the restaurant we went to, which is like much more on the fancier side. Fucking great service, good food and everything. Everything was bang on with our meal. Nothing was missed. Everything was perfect. And Buddy just decided to not tip a bloody fucking cent. And his woman was okay with it too, which really fucking pissed me off. Because she's standing by his side or whatever. I couldn't believe it.
Are they financially, like, would you say that they would be financially able to provide some tip?
More so than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah. And I tipped very well. So it was pretty pathetic, I think. And I straight up said I'll never do dinner with you guys again.
and so both of your guys' friends. So how did Haley react to that when you had that conversation?
Yeah,
or if you don't want to get into it, that's fine too.
No, it's fine. I think she was on my side, but maybe not quite as serious as I was about it. Sort of shrugged it off a little more than I would have. Right. She's known them for much longer than I have. They're great people, and I've been camping with them, and I will do that again. I just won't go eat at an expensive restaurant.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like, I'm not a big confrontation guy, so I probably wouldn't have like said it as upfront to you, but I would be wishing that I would, be like, I wish, like, I'm like kind of awkward in situations like that, but that's awesome.
That's sad, man. Like, yeah,
especially at an expensive restaurant like that too. Like, if you're going somewhere where you're expecting to pay that much for your meal, like, then just drop a little bit of a tip. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Silly. Yeah. Okay, boys, we're gonna bring in Spittin' Rhymes and Splittin' Spines. I think it's been 2 weeks since I brought one, maybe 1 week since I brought one, and so I'm making up for lost time, boys, because I got a full verse on this one. I was like listening to the song and I couldn't decide on one line from the verse, and the verse flows so smoothly that it's kind of hard to find like a starting point for a line. You know what I mean? The song tonight is called "Feel So Good" by Mace, and this is an absolute 90s banger.
Timeless classic.
Like, to this day, Mace is one of my all-time nostalgic rappers, and this song is the main reason for it. Like, the beat is so good, the flow by Mace is so. I always found he was so smooth. His flow was like super buttery, you know what I mean? And he could just like carry it out and transition super quick and super easy. So that was kind of where my Mace love started. And he came back, I think in the early 2000s, he came back with an album, Welcome Back, after his like stint as a priest or something like that. And he had one good song on that. And what I will say is, like, I probably only know 5 good Mace songs, but I think those are probably the only ones you really need to know. To do him some more justice, I probably should listen to the rest of his catalog, but for now we just like these ones. And so Mace feels so good. It's the second verse that happens. The first one's really good too, but this one's just incredible. So he goes, you can't understand Weeby Waikiki sipping DP till the TV looks 3D. Little kids see me way out in DC with a Z3 Chrome BBs. They want to be me. Suckers talking shit, they ought to quit. Unfortunate, they don't see a fourth what I get. And those be the same ones walking while I whip. Just started seeing cars because they auctioned it. So while you daydream, my Mercedes gleam, and I deal with hoes that pose in Maybelline. One time you had it all. I ain't mad at y'all. Now give me the catalog. I'll show you how daddy balls. 6 cars with power. Oh, I forget. Note to fire big stars. Sit up CEO style, smoking on cigars. And then he says N word right there to kind of rhyme it with that. It's super like swaggy, but I'm not going to say it. It's like y'all be talking funny. I don't understand the language of people with short money. Like, come on.
Me.
Like that's your motto after that dinner, Bri. Like, I don't understand the language of people with short money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Jeez. Yeah, so that's my super generic ass white guy rap verse on spitting rhymes and splitting spines tonight.
Gotcha.
But one that I absolutely love, and you guys know me, like if we're partying and this one comes on, I'm getting real into that. So this rendition of spitting rhymes and splitting spines is a little bit tame.
Dude, I feel like that verse that you just recited there. If you took all the ebonics out of that and you narrated it as like, you know, Morgan Freeman or David Attenborough or something, and like just totally white guide it, that whole verse could be absolutely incredible. Like you could twist that around and it would sound really good, like a bedtime story almost.
Oh yeah, that would be funny. Take rap flows and reword them as like bedtime stories. That being said, boys, if you go like, and I've used this one for all my kids, there are like lullaby renditions of different artists that are on Spotify.
Yeah,
there's a Tragically Hip one, and it's fucking awesome, man. It's almost like it's like xylophones, right? Like bling 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 bling. But yeah, like it's so good.
Cool.
I'll put it on when I'm putting Lincoln to sleep, and I fucking fall asleep. It's so good. Like I'm or I'm just laying there in my head, like bring on a brand new Renaissance. You know, like I'm just fucking jamming. So try those out. If anyone has kids and they're huge Tragically Hip fans, highly recommend those. Look for like
where do you find those?
Spotify, just go like lullaby versions of, and it'll come. It's like their thing. It's like a yellow cover, and you just find the Tragically Hip one. They have them for tons of bands though, so you might find some other ones that you like too.
Oh, some Snoop, like some Lottie Dottie, like
there may be something like that. I should check to see what they got.
There's definitely still Dre.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, bling bling bling.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's probably what he made it on. Yeah. Fuck yeah, boys. Well, this has been a fun. We had a couple more things that we were kind of going to talk about here, boys. Do you want to keep her rolling, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of talked a little. Brian, you were telling us about that old doc you were watching. What kind of Netflix shows are you guys watching? I'll be honest, boys, I don't have very many, and I find like after Sabrina goes to sleep, I'll go lay down in bed, and I want to try and find something cool that I can watch as like just like a me show that I can do every night like that. I always just circulate the whole Netflix shit. I'm just trying to find stuff, and I never find something good. And I need some good stuff that I'll be into without having to watch 2 episodes before deciding I hate it. You know what I mean? Like I want to go into it knowing that I'm going to like it. Yeah. I feel like if you guys are watching it, I'm probably going to like it.
Nice. Okay, so for me, I don't know if this is kind of bad. I have like myself and Haley, we have a lot of shows going on right now. Like there's several that we cycle through. Like we've restarted watching Breaking Bad, and I think we're season 4 of that right now. We don't watch episodes of that every night, but at least a few a week, I would say. And I fucking love that. To me, that's still like the best show of all time.
Never watched it.
Seriously, are you fucking with me?
I saw a couple episodes when it first came out, but never like it was always a show that I looked at as something that I would need to prepare myself to do start to finish instead of like picking up some here or there or starting 3 episodes and falling off on it. You know what I mean? So it's not that I never wanted to watch it. I never saw myself being able to commit to it. You know what I mean?
Like to binge it. And that is so true about that show. Like the first time you
in 3 days, right? Maybe it's in 6 weeks or something like that. But even that, like now that I'm starting to like have that time where I can just lay down and watch some TV, maybe I'll have to give her a whirl.
Yeah. So we've got that. That's a few times a week. Fuck, we watch some like pretty ridiculous like reality TV shows. There's one called Love Island that it's a total fucking chick flick, man. I am absolutely hooked on it. We love it. It's nothing but laughs. It's super funny. And we get right into it. And there's on that particular show, there's 50 episodes per season. So that is our
Holy
everyday thing. Like,
shit.
yeah, we'll watch that every day. And then we have like a sort of like a non-paying attention show for when like extracurricular activities are going on, and that's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. We'll chuck that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Brian's watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that means he's getting frisky.
Shit's going down for at least 5 minutes.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Yeah, a lot of cuddling. Yeah, so that, what else? We just started watching, actually, no, sorry, we just finished a show called Outlast. Have you boys heard of that?
No.
Oh, that's on Netflix. It's like Alone, right?
I believe it is. I haven't seen Alone, but Outlast, it's directed by Jason Bateman. And it's a group of, I want to say, maybe it starts out 8 groups, I think. And it's a large group of competitors that are put out in the Alaskan wilderness, and they have to survive. And they make it upwards of like 50 days. And the goal is you have to be remaining on a team by the end of it to win the grand prize. I think it might have been $100,000 or something like that. Yeah, it was about that. And shit gets dirty. Teams start stealing other team sleeping bags. I won't give too much away, but totally have to forage your own food. They go hunting, fishing and shit. It's fucking awesome, man. It's like realistic. Yeah. Very, very good show. You guys will like it.
I really liked Alone. That was on the History Channel. That's same kind of thing. Last Man Standing. Mm-hmm. And there's been some really, really good seasons out there for that.
Yeah.
So, Brian, is that Bateman one reality TV or is it not reality TV?
It's basically like Survivor Man. Like, you remember Les Stroud and Survivor Man?
Oh yeah.
Dude,
it's like it's real. It's real.
Yeah, it's real deal shit. Okay. It's not reality, and it's a group. It's a bunch of groups that are competing against each other, but they can also form alliances and join in with other groups. So you don't want to be cut out of any fucking group. So you better be bringing something to the table. You better be able to hunt or get a fire going or make a good shelter or whatever. All these trials and tribulations the contestants go through is fucking wild, man. It's really cool to watch.
Outlast.
Yeah, Outlast. Very good show.
Right on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's about it I think that's what we got going on. There might be we'll chuck on like murder mystery documentaries too. We like that shit, crime shit, lots of that too. So yeah, we're all over the place.
Eric, what about you, buddy?
Oh man, we love our sci-fi stuff down here. Lauren right now is watching Vampire Diaries. Good show. We were watching His Dark Materials. That was really good. That's based on the book The Golden Compass. Worth a watch. I think that was on Crave. Another good show is SEE. It's based on like a post-apocalyptic world where everybody's blind, and the first sighted children start appearing, and the blind people are trying to find them and kill them, and it's wild just to see like their take on blind warfare. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got Jason Momoa in it, I think.
Oh yeah, he's dreamy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he's so badass. He's so badass in it. Yeah. And it's got Batista as like his antagonist brother. It's really good. I think that's like 3 seasons now. That's a real good one.
That's funny, eh? What's that one called?
SEE.
Okay.
That's on Apple TV.
Fuck, you got it all, bud.
No, yeah, we got the mother-in-law's account for that one.
Nice.
Don't tell Apple.
Shit, Apple watches the show, Eric.
Shit. The Mandalorian, obviously, we're just catching up on that.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, no, you haven't. Yeah, I love all those. Actually, I haven't watched like Andor and those other spin-offs, but The Mandalorian's been a good one. All the little sitcoms that Brian was saying. The New Girl is kind of our background show. Yeah.
New Girl is the best. That's one of our all-time favorite shows. It's so good.
You guys ever done Shameless?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Shameless is top 3.
Super funny.
I never
Yeah.
finished it. I got to like season 5, I think. I got to finish it. It was good.
Yeah,
It's a good
excellent.
Little too drug heavy for to watch in the household though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lauren's not a big fan of that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah, boys, like I definitely don't get to watch too much TV, but when I do, like we do like lots of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, we do lots of PJ Masks, we do lots of Paw Patrol. No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
There is a lot of that happens in my house. Like I got kids, so they pretty much own the TV most of the time. But Brian, your favorite. I'm on season 6 of watching Game of Thrones through for probably like the 3rd time.
Oh shit.
So we kind of like the period pieces, right? And it's like the not really, I guess sci-fi, I guess, but more like mythical shit, right? So back in like the medieval times, and then Game of Thrones has dragons and shit like that, right? There's one called The Last Kingdom. That one doesn't really have like magic and shit. It's more just like battles and stuff like that. Okay. I think towards the later seasons, it gets a little bit weird where there's like this chick who has like brain power over the dude or whatever because he's just creative, like that kind of shit. But it's not like, you know, dragons and different species and shit like that. The Last Kingdom is fucking badass. The battle scenes and stuff in that where they're like,
that show was good. What's the main character's name?
Uhtred of Bebbanburg. Yeah,
Bebbanburg.
He's incredible.
Yeah,
and it's the story. It's Brian. The story is this English kid whose family battles against the Vikings who are trying to raid it, and he's a prince of that place. He gets captured by the Vikings, raised by the Vikings, and he loves the Vikings because they raise him as their own. And so like when he gets older, he's got this like internal struggle about like the Saxons, which is the English, and then the Vikings and stuff. It's just really
very well written. Very well
written. Spin-off. There's a spin-off coming, B. Yeah, the story is really, really good. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
There's a spin-off coming, so that's going to be really good. Vikings and Vikings Valhalla, definitely into that.
Never watched, never finished those.
Bud, do it.
Okay.
Vikings and Vikings Valhalla, both on Netflix.
What was the railroad one? What was that with
Hell on Wheels?
Oh, Hell on Wheels. Yeah,
dude, that one was good. I liked that one.
I probably only got like 3 seasons in it. Eric, I think you watched that a little while past I did. I think I recall.
I didn't finish it as well, but yeah, that was a great show. That's on the list. And Ozark's also a really good one. I need to finish.
Yeah.
Bateman, man. Jason Bateman. Whatever he does is good.
Bateman. Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's so good. So yeah, that's some of my stuff. Those love shows though, B, like I haven't really watched them too much, but when Sabrina gets into shows like that and I do like start to catch them, I start to get into them too. Like she's watching this one, I think it's called Love is Blind, where
I know the one, boy.
Yeah.
I know the one.
You're all over it. And so she watches it, and you know how Netflix will play the next episode, right? And so I come to bed and it's on, and there's like a juicy part on it, and so I'm just like watching it, like, what the fuck? Or like sometimes it's hilarious just how ridiculous some of the shit is on there too, right?
Oh, totally, man. Yeah. Just the whole dating shit. Yeah, putting a bunch of like random strangers on an island and like, boom, here, you guys all date each other and watch like the fucking shit that ensues after you do that, and it's pretty fucking comical to me.
Yeah, man. This Love is Blind one, Eric, what I've gathered so far is there's the dudes living in one house and the chicks, Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, and the girls are living in another house. The only time they get to interact with each other is one-on-one, so like one girl and one guy. And there's like a wall between them, so they can hear each other. They can sit on the couch and talk and stuff. And by the end, they have to like decide whether they love this person and they're going to propose to them. And the first time they see them is after they've proposed, and they like walk down a hallway and these doors open, and they're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, why do they do this to people?
It's insane. The people sign up for it, Eric. These people sign up for this. Man, why wouldn't they? These shows are making so much money. I'd do it. Like, if people want to be on there and I had some crazy premise, like absolutely.
Yeah.
Discovered.
At least like these people seem like they actually like are totally in love with each other and shit. It's pretty wild to me. Like and I think that's part of the allure of it, right, Bri? Is because you can't understand how people can fall in love in that short period of time without seeing each other. Also, Married at First Sight was one that Sabrina watched. That one's pretty fucking interesting, actually.
You got to get her on Love Island, man. That blows Love Is
Okay.
Blind out of the water. It's
Really?
funny. I think I'm drawn to it because I just like seeing naturally how people act in that environment, and and who can survive that and who can't, and who's like a complete idiot, and I also like who's the character of the bunch. Like generally each season has like one dude or one chick that sticks out, and they're absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
And then I'm rooting for them the whole way, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you kind
usually
of
the piss tank that gets way too drunk and like embarrasses himself, and then there's always those little roles. Hey babe, you ever watch Love Island? Bryce says we got to get into that one. Okay, but we're gonna do that one together. Don't do it without me.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we have like a rule: we're not allowed to watch it without the other person. Like,
we have
watch it,
and it really legit pisses me off when and vice versa when one of us watches the show without the other. That's a tough pill to swallow. That somebody would do that to you. You know what I mean? It's like you would actually watch it without me. Like,
I know that's almost worse than cheating, dude. Like that's bad.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right on, boys. Right on. This has been a fantastic episode, boys. I think we're gonna cut the piss off right there because we're at $1.20.
Yeah.
Fun times, boys. We got a little 3-banger tonight. We thought it was going to be a quickie, but we went balls deep on it, fellas.
Longest one yet.
We got into some good combo in the extra 20 minutes, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I like it. Some good shows. I'll have to make some clips and stuff like that, which I am super stoked to do.
Nice.
Yeah, appreciate the time, boys. Appreciate you guys getting on here and having some laughs. It's been a good time.
Man.
And thanks to anybody who's listened. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and leave a comment on the show. Leave a review if that's what you do on whatever platform you listen on. Remember that we are on more platforms now as well for your audio pleasure. We're on Spotify, Google Pods, Apple Pods, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. We are on social media on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. And the meat and potatoes, like I said, is YouTube. So please subscribe there. That helps us out a lot. The comments helps out a lot because that gets the algorithm pumping us out to more people. So yeah, if you like what we're doing, comment on our shit and let's get interacting with you and have a good time. So thanks again, fellas, for Brian Mitchell and Eric Mitchell. Have a great rest of your week. Right into that weekend with a big shit eater on your face. And we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Peace, buddy.
Bye.
Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf? Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now!
Guys. Oh, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.